Billy Graham's vision for Christianity today is alive and well today. It's a big vision, it's hard to live up to, but we do our best every day. Back in 1953, Billy Graham woke up at 2 a.m. with a compelling idea for a magazine, and he wrote and wrote for several hours before he had it all down.
Billy, seems to me, said a great deal in his original document outlining what Christianity Today should be. He called for a magazine that would communicate a positive gospel, a gospel of hope, a gospel of compassion, a gospel of love.
The funny thing is, God was preparing the soil in other people's minds about the same kind of thing. He told his father-in-law Nelson Bell about it, and Bell said, "I've been thinking about a magazine for several years too."
He also called for intellectual credibility to go to the scholarly community as well as the broad Christian community, and for helping the church be the church in the most positive way possible.
Billy Graham's father-in-law did a lot of the legwork in order to launch Christianity Today magazine. Eventually, they were able in 1955 to pull together a group of people on Labor Day to hear Billy articulate his vision for the magazine. He articulated a multi-point outline of what the magazine should be like. It was a stirring speech. They had about a year between that initial Labor Day meeting in 1955 and the rollout of the magazine October 15, 1956. In the meantime, they had recruited Carl F.H. Henry to act as the editor of the magazine. Fortunately, they were able to get major funding from J. Howard Pugh. Graham said that evangelicals in the early 1950s were almost leaderless.
Well, what Billy was concerned about when he started the magazine was he said he wanted this new strong voice to call us all together.
The need for an evangelical voice comes from the fact that up until that point, there wasn't anything that was really intellectually respectable on the evangelical side of things.
CT tries to be the voice that says, well, let us sit down and reason together. We hope that we give readers a chance to think more deeply about what's happening in the world, why it's happening, and how we might view it from the view of the Bible, from the view of church history, from the view of theology.
Wisdom, as Scripture says, is crying in the streets, and to find wisdom and to communicate it is very important. The way it seems to me we do that best is when we find men and women who are very thoughtful, who have been through many life experiences and are committed. We have a wonderful privilege at CTI of platforming these people in magazines, over the web, in many other forms, to find people of wisdom and give them a strong voice. Christianity Today, in all of its materials, is trying to help the church truly impact culture by our lives and by our witness.
I believe it's important to explore culture because it's all around us and affects us in ways that we're not even aware of. If we can, instead of simply absorbing culture, engage it and equip those around us to engage it, we're doing a service to ourselves and to the church at large.
Christianity Today does report on the newest trends, the things that are very unique that are going on in the movement today. But I think what we really help do is put it into a broader perspective.
Billy Graham wanted Christianity Today readers to feel that they were not fully informed until they had finished reading the magazine. And I went back to Billy Graham's original vision, his original 1955 speech, and said, there's a lot in here that doesn't really work for a magazine, but that's amazing for the internet.
And since the advent of the internet, I think CT's international voice is becoming more and more heard.
Our reader surveys consistently tell us that Christianity Today readers have a great curiosity about the world abroad.
So this year we've had a number of cover stories on international events. We've had cover stories on Uganda and the Congo, and most recently on Russia. What happens in France and Africa and India and Vietnam does in fact affect the American church in some ways.
As a result, CT can't help but be Christianity Today International.
I feel we have a real trust here at Christianity Today because Billy Graham created something that we need to hand on to the next generation and the generation after that.
With Christianity Today, we're always looking, especially at trends among young people, trying to see what the church is going to look like in the future, who are tomorrow's leaders, and how will it change the church we know.
I have always been a student of church history ever since college, and I am aware of how God uses people and movements and institutions to shape His church over time. One of the names that comes up in modern history books is Christianity Today. The fact that I'm a part of the team here that helps publish a magazine that continues shaping the church, that's a weighty responsibility, but it's also a privilege and a joy, because it is a very important magazine in our world.